remain available. One very plain adjustment that we will be making is to the layout for receiving communion. Rather than having the stations be simply at the ends of the aisle nearest to the altar, we will utilize the whole outer step of the sanctuary, placing stations along the whole perimeter so as to give optimal social distancing. So when you come into church, you will see the kneelers have been preset, and this will allow those who want to kneel to still be able to do so to receive communion, but it will also provide a definite marker for those who want to stand to receive communion, to simply stand behind the kneeler. So as you approach the front, down whichever aisle you will be coming towards the front, which I will address shortly here, you will simply be channeled towards an open kneeler or towards the tag on the floor that says to stand here. And it will be there that you wait until the minister comes to offer you Holy Communion. For the distribution of Holy Communion, it is important that we note that all three of the interior aisles of the church will be utilized to have you move towards the front step of the altar. And so you will simply get up from your pew, minding social distance with those who may be in the same pew with you, as well as those who are already in the aisles. You will step out into the aisle, keeping the right distance from one another, as indicated by the cards that are on the floor, indicating where to stand, and move towards the front. Once you have arrived at the front of the church, you will move as indicated here by the blue arrows. From the center aisle, you will go either right or left based on which side you have come from, where your seat was. If you are in the diagonal aisle, you will move towards that outer wall of the church that is nearest to you, whether that be the sacristy and confessional wall, or the side where the choir room entrance and the candle niche are. And it is here that you will proceed when the next kneeler opens for you to either stand in front of or to kneel upon. Once you are in place, you will simply wait until communion is distributed to you. Having received communion, you will move from your place towards that outer wall of the church. As you can see here by the red arrows, we will utilize the perimeter of the church to have you return to your seat, walking all the way to the back of the church and then moving along the back wall to that aisle that you initially used to come forward to return to the pew that you had been seated in from the beginning. And now some do's and don'ts to receive Holy Communion well and reverently in the most sanitary way. If you are to receive standing and on the tongue, you will come forward, stand in place, make a slight bow of the head, you say amen, and then you open your mouth and extend your tongue over your bottom lip, holding still so as to allow the priest to place our blessed Lord on your tongue. If you choose to receive on the hand, you once more bow your head, you say amen, and then you make a throne with your left hand supported by your right. You may bring the host directly to your mouth and consume from your palm, or you may also, using your right hand, take the host in your index finger and thumb and gently bring it up to your own mouth. To receive communion kneeling, you simply kneel. You will place your forearms on the top of the kneeler, tip your head back slightly, and you will place your tongue over your bottom lip, holding still, so that the priest can gently lay the Blessed Sacrament on your tongue. As for actions to avoid, you never want to grab for the host, nor close your hands over the minister laying the host on the palm of your hand, nor do you want to have your hands separated from one another, but you always want to make that throne with one hand on top of the other so as to provide a dignified place for the Lord. And as for receiving directly in the mouth, of course you don't want to cover your mouth and simply stick your head up, nor do you want to open your mouth so the priest has to aim. You likewise do not want to lunge for the host, nor do you want to tip your head downward so that the priest can't easily place the host in your mouth, but instead you slightly tip your head back, open wide, and place your tongue over your bottom lip. For those who do kneel to receive, I want to encourage you to use your forearms to aid you in getting up from the kneeler, rather than your bare hands on the surface of the top of the kneeler.